Hi there, this is Nico. I think we're going to be talking today about life and death on the side of the board. There's a lot being said about life and death in the corner. I actually did a video with Spirit Animal about that. Um, but there's very little people ever talk about on the side. And I was thinking about this, like there's some side groups that are pretty common, but I think probably if there's one side group you should know, it's this one. um James Davies' book Life and Death calls this a two-space notcher, which is a terrible name. So I've decided to come up with my own name for it, and I'm calling this the Little Prince group. So what it is, where the name comes from, is if you've seen the book The Little Prince, there's this drawing of a snake that ate an elephant, and this kind of is that shape. Okay, so there is only one move to live for black, and it's this one. So essentially, black has this extra stone at triangle and does not have an extra stone at square. Square is white. So the usual technique applies. You play on the opposite side from the side where you have the extra strength. So since black has extra strength on the right side, he plays on the left side. You can also see this as defending the cutting point. However, instead of thinking about it as defending the cutting point, that applies to this shape and might be wrong for some other shapes. Playing on the opposite side from where you have strength is a standard application which happens everywhere in Go. And once you played this is actually a pretty simple shape. For instance, if white Hane is here, you can, this one is easy enough, and then these two are Miai. A and B. It's slightly better to descend and block here. Same story. A and B are Miai, right? Now, the real question though is why does this one not work, right? So if white plays Hane here, black plays here, and A and B are Miai, black is alive, right? And if white Hane is on the other side, black plays here, and this is an eye, and this is also an eye. So that's two eyes. So the way to kill this group is you cut. And when black plays here, the whole point of this cut is that when you play this Atari here, it's Atari. So black cannot make this eye because you capture him. So instead, black has to block here, and then you take the other eye. Right? So the important thing for this to work, to kill black, are the liberties of these two stones, X. And let's get rid of some of these symbols, which we don't need. We don't need that. We don't need that. Right. So the liberties of the two stones at X. Right. Now, if white wants to kill this, absolutely any move at all that looks like it will kill. A kills, B kills, C kills, D kills, it all kills. You just pick the one that might have the best effects for other reasons, like it has something to do with some other group on some other side or something. Okay, so we've realized that the important points are these ones. What happens if black actually doesn't have them? And what happens is that the group is just completely dead. So this black group is completely dead, and we should now know how to kill it if black plays either of these two, because if black blocks in, you play here, and then you Atari, and you play this one. And despite the fact that this cut here is Atari, it actually doesn't matter if it's Atari. Remember that the liberties that matter are the liberties of these two stones and these two stones, right? So we can just remove this, make this as tall as we like, something like this. And let's even give black some extra liberties here. Something like this. Right? And black still cannot live with this. You still cut. And the whole point is that this is Atari, so you get to take the other eye. And the other way around also works. If black plays here, you can cut, and then this is Atari, and you take the other side. So black is dead. Okay. Now next, I wanted to look at this. This is a position from one of my students' games. My student was black. And white invades here. And when white invades here, we're not gonna go into the details of all of the invasion. The position that caught my eye was this one. Now my student plays here and allows white to pull out and link out like this. However, this is actually exactly the position we just looked at. This is the little prince group, but it's lost both of the corners. So actually this group is dead. If you were to play in here, you cut, and this is Atari, and the other eye is gone. And the whole point of this is that running out here should not actually save the group because you just enclose it. Now, I don't actually hate that my student played here and allowed white to survive, because this is actually a pretty good position for white as it stands. Black here is a very strong move, which attacks this whole white top thing. But also this thing is kind of falling. So some extra thickness in this area is actually quite useful. But it is technically correct, definitely, to kill the group. And I decided to do a video on this precisely because I assigned this as a homework problem for my student, and it immediately turned up in his game and he got it wrong. So that's it for today. See you at some other occasion. Bye-bye.